Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!
Sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
When Raccoon City's water supply was infected with the T-virus, many citizens of Raccoon City started turning into the living dead, and terror struck in every corner of the streets. A lot of people quickly turned to the Raccoon City gun shop, known as the Kendo gun shop, in order to protect themselves from the bizarre attacks going on. Robert Kendo was the gun shop owner in Raccoon City. In September 25 of 1998, zombies started appearing all around the streets, and many victims were already heading towards the gun shop to defend themselves while they tried to escape the city. Robert Kendo started selling more guns and ammo that one day alone compared to the amount he sold all year. One of the customers he ended up helping was Ben Bertolozzi, the journalist who you meet in Resident Evil 2. By now, there's already a lot of panic in the streets, and the Kendo gun shop is the only gun shop that can provide some protection for those who are still alive and unharmed. And with so many guns and ammo being sold, he's made plenty of money to close the shop and survive with plenty of the guns and ammunition left. However, instead of deciding to think for himself, Robert Kendo decided to start handing out most of his gun stock to the citizens of Raccoon City so that everyone can protect themselves. This left him with almost nothing but a single weapon left for himself. 4 days go by. Robert Kendo has managed to survive on his own, and by now, Leon and/or Claire reach the gun shop. And as you already know, this is the moment Robert Kendo meets his end. As soon as he sees that there's still a survivor, he lets them in, but he leaves his post behind the counter to go lock the front door behind Leon or Claire. This was his biggest mistake, as 4 zombies break through the glass wall and attack Robert Kendo, killing him instantly before Leon or Claire could do anything about it. I found it interesting that if the player chooses Claire, Robert will be using a bowgun, but if you choose to play as Leon, Robert will be using a shotgun instead of the bowgun. But also, if you look at Robert's right arm, it appears as if he has an injury that needed to be wrapped up in bandages. This could indicate that he had survived a previous zombie attack, but ended up being bit on his right arm. A different but very similar outcome is shown to Robert Kendo in the game Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles. In that scenario, both Leon and Claire reach the Kendo gun shop together, but once they enter the shop, Robert Kendo is already being devoured by zombies.
God damn it! Ah!
What?
It's coming from inside!
Oh!
Get off of it!
He's eating him!
Hey, are you alright? Shit.
I can't believe this.
Gotta be kidding me! They're getting in!
Robert didn't have the best of luck in the series, but it's thanks to him that many civilians had the chance to fight their way out of Raccoon City. With all the weapons and ammunition at his possession, he could have survived the outbreak and escaped Raccoon City without a problem. If you play Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64, there's an exclusive file inside the Kendo gun shop. It was a note written by Robert, and it was meant for a close friend of his, STARS member Barry Burton. The note reads, "How could this have happened, Barry? The town's been overrun by zombies and has literally become a nightmare on Earth. As you know, my concern for this town is as great as your own. I have waited for your arrival on the assumption you were still in the area. But the threat of my shop being overwhelmed by zombies has become too great. I already distributed the majority of weapons and ammo to the town's survivors, including the Raging Bull you specially ordered. I hope you understand, given the circumstances. At any rate, I have no intention of pointlessly sacrificing my life, and will be retreating to Stoneville. If you get this message, meet me there. We'll go fishing." As mentioned in his note, Robert Kendo had a custom-made gun for Barry Burton known as the Raging Bull, and in Resident Evil 3, if you go to the police station in the STARS office, you can find a fax sent from Robert Kendo. It reads, "To the boys of STARS, I have some good news for you from my brother Joe. He has finalized the new handgun for official use. It's the M92F STARS Special, but he calls it the Samurai Edge. It's the most balanced of the Kendo custom guns. Joe said, if you miss the targets with this, you should carry a teething ring instead of a gun in your holster. The goods will be delivered along with their proper documentation. I'm sure you'll be surprised when you see what kind of excellent parts are used for the M92F. I know that you'll want to thank the good people who developed it. Sincerely, Robert Kendo, Kendo Gunshot." So Robert was the salesman and his brother was a gunsmith. We know what happened with Robert Kendo, but his brother was not mentioned anywhere in the games aside from this fax from Robert. He customized special requested guns for his shop, and he also served as a weapon instructor for the Special Tactics and Rescue Service. But there's a chance that he's still alive. He sent the Samurai Edge gun to Robert at the Kendo shop, so he must have had his own shop at a location outside of Raccoon City. And since Robert was planning on leaving Raccoon City and seeking refuge at Stoneville, then this must be the town where Joseph lived in. However, Stoneville was built up in the Arkley Mountains, and as you all know, the Arkley Mountains is a location where many hitchhikers were found dead, devoured by the zombie dogs that got loose from the secret lab in the Spencer Mansion. So if Stoneville is in the Arkley Mountains, then there's a possibility that the town could have also been attacked by the zombie dogs. And if that wasn't a problem, then the result of Raccoon City being nuked could have damaged the small town, killing those that lived in Stoneville. But this information is unknown. One final thing to note about Robert Kendo is that his original character was meant to have a much bigger role in Resident Evil 2. The beta is known as Resident Evil 1.5, and he was known as John instead of Robert Kendo. From the beta footage, it appeared that he was supposed to help Elsa throughout the police station. He would aid Elsa in seeking refuge at the police station, but in the end, his character was changed and he became Robert Kendo, the Raccoon City gun shop owner. Now, if you can hack through the demo for Resident Evil 2 to go through walls, you can find the police chief's room, but instead of Brian Irons sitting in his chair with the corpse of the mayor's daughter on the desk, we see Robert Kendo sitting there with a female zombie corpse on the desk. That female zombie is not the sprite from a regular female zombie in the game. There's only one female zombie type that we see throughout the Resident Evil 2 game, and that one isn't it. She is only seen in the concept art for the game, but seeing this basically tells us that she was going to be in the game in the storyline of Resident Evil 1.5, but since the beta version has never been officially released, we'll never know what Robert's original role would have been like, including for the female zombie in front of him. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please leave a like, share with others, and if you want to see more videos like these, subscribe to this channel. You'll find more than just Resident Evil content like Dragon Ball, Gantz, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and more. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr to find out when the next video comes out and whatever random posts I make. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.